Jaden Show, and here's your host, Jaden Cornelius. Welcome to the Jaden Show. It's the first Sunday of December 2022. Oh my God, it only seems 5 minutes ago that it was the first Sunday of December 2021. How time goes so quickly, and we're still here doing the Jaden Show. This is amazing, and you're still getting to meet lovely people, and this week is no different. Oh my goodness, no, I am going all the way to the United Kingdom to meet Dance Floor Divo Andrew Nolan to talk about his music, the music that he's putting out, and his upcoming plans for the future. So make sure you have subscribed, make sure you are sitting comfortably, and we shall begin. Let's go and check a little bit of this guy. Are you ready? Let's go and meet this week's very special guest, Mr. Andrew Nolan, everybody. Andrew Nolan, Dance Floor Divo. How are you, Governor?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing all right, mate. How's Chilly Willy England at the moment? Is it?
It is absolutely freezing, I can tell you. It's like the first day where it's middle of winter, gets to 3 o'clock, and it's like it's getting dark, and you think, oh yeah, we've got months of this to come. And I have to, first thing I need to say is I have to apologize, because we have been trying to organize this for some time, and I feel I didn't get back to you for some time, and vice versa. And you know what? I did a video for you to put in this chit chat. And it was, I think it's Every Dream Was Broken when I was about to release it. And I filmed it in August when we were having the gorgeous weather here. And the sun was blazing. And I stood and did this like live type thing of the video. And it was for your show. And I was like, God, that's months ago. So.
Mate, well, firstly, yeah, we seem to keep being like ships that pass in the night. But that's the good thing about the entertainment industry, right? It's never predictable.
Well, yeah. It's, but
and it also shows you how bloody fast time goes as well, mate.
It is, and the year's nearly over, isn't it? Already.
I know it. Yeah. But we're lucky we have you now on the Jaden Show. So how's it going? I heard you've just released a new single, or releasing a new single, which isn't going to be featured on this show, but it might pop up on the Christmas show. But how's all that going? All the anticipation and the whole build up to that.
You know what? Every bit is like a surprise, and just like nothing that I ever expected, because I didn't even set out to start doing recording, to be honest. It was just during lockdown, I was on social media, just sharing my playlist, because I've got quite a lot of playlists on Spotify and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I was just sharing them, and I was thinking, I'll put a bit of a show reel together, because I haven't sang professionally for about 20 years.
Oh, okay.
And I was just thinking of what songs to put in my show reel. And this record company contacted me the other side of the world and went, would you like to make a record? We think we could make something. And you're now skeptical. I'm like,
Because the industry is kind of wise to be a bit skeptical, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of like, go on then, let's see what this is about. And yeah, they sent the track, and literally I recorded it. I mean, nowadays with technology, you just do it, don't you? Yeah, it's like he Dropboxed it to me, I sent it back and recorded it. It was done. And yeah, well, I've changed obviously companies, which we'll talk about a bit later on, but it's like every step of the way it's just getting better and better. And I'm just doing it for fun, really. And but yeah, it's been brilliant. And
you know what, in all honesty, that is probably why it is getting better and better. When you have minimal expectations, you have minimal disappointments. You're just enjoying that journey, right?
Yeah,
like back in the 90s, when you're thinking, shit, how am I going to pay my bills in this month, because I've generated nothing, because I've always been in the studio and I've always been releasing, but I'm not earning. Then it becomes that desperation to achieve, and then you end up actually not smelling the roses kind of thing. But you can sit back and go, oh man, I've got a single coming out this week. That's really cool.
That's it, because when you're younger as well, you have got all this expectation. You're a little bit nervous as well, and you're not as chilled out as probably as you are when you get older. And something, when I was younger, I was thinking it's quite hard to make it in music, because I don't know, it just felt like you've got to get your record out there. But I mean, nowadays, you've got all the social media and stuff, but the charts has completely changed. So, and you just think, well, actually, it probably would have been easier to have a record back then than it is now. But
they did say, I remember when I got my deal, they said 220,000 people in the UK a year send demos to get a deal, and less than 200 a year actually get one.
Yeah.
So the odds were always against. I mean, like, I was really lucky I was in the right place at the right time. Do you know what I mean? But then ended up being in the right place at the wrong time directly after that. But to date. But no, but it was still, it still was very difficult. But now, like you said, I can record something, pop to the loo, and I've just sold an album in Ethiopia. Like, how?
Yeah.
Whereas, if I wanted anyone in Leeds to know that I exist, I had to slap it up to Leeds, do a 3-song PA in a dodgy nightclub where everyone was Eid off their face, not knowing whether I'll even remember my name the next morning, and go back again 3 months later to do another PA, and then maybe they will buy my single when it comes out. Whereas now,
I was talking
media.
Yeah, I was literally talking to somebody today about promos years ago, and the record company, because I used to do DJing as well many years ago, and they used to send me like the 12-inch vinyl, and you'd play it in front of your audience and to see what their reaction is. Well, 99% of the time they'd sit down because they've never heard of the record. Just going, and then you've got to fill the form back to the record company saying, well, how did the record go down and what's the reaction? And it's like, well,
it's another world now, mate. And it's blessing and curse. I mean, there's like a downside even now, to what's going on. But like I said, but now we've got it kind of easy. You can kind of almost do it yourself. Really.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been watching the Spotify documentary that's been on TV recently, and they say like artists don't make money out of it. And some of these streaming services don't pay particularly well, as far as I'm aware, but it's the longevity of it. So, whereas before you'd sell a record and you just get the money from that record, and then, but that's it, the sale is over. Whereas nowadays with it streaming, it's got the opportunity to make money over time. So I think if you're in it for the long game, then there's opportunities there, but it is a completely different world, isn't it now?
Well, I think being old school as well, I think we had no choice but to be in it for the long run, really, because we're still doing it now in some way, shape, or form. It's almost like an infection. It just gets hold of you, and it's always with you. You can't not, even if you have a rest for 20 years, it still keeps up on you, that little bugger. And
that's me having the rest for 20 years. When I was like in my early 20s, thinking I'm not going to be standing there when I'm like 50 doing this. I'm going to go off and get a job. Be
a real grown up.
Yeah, and now it's gone full circle.
No,
again.
it's all, like I said, it's all about enjoying the journey, and we're lucky now that the things we don't do the things because we need to do them. We do the things because we love, and it brings us joy and amusement, and and it's part of our passion. So it's a complete different mentality towards it now, right? But you've been attached in music. I mean, you've come from quite a musical background as well. Your father was like a musician and stuff as well, right? So music has always been part of your upbringing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my father was in a band when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s. He was in, well, first of all, it was like a chart band, but of course it was 70s then. And they were one of the first like tribute bands, because you didn't get tribute bands around in those
Yeah.
days. And they used to do an Elvis Presley tribute. Well, of course,
Okay.
everybody did that then. But yeah, so he was in one of those first bands doing all the pubs and clubs, and so yeah, my childhood was sort of dragged around all the working men's clubs in Leicester and
Wow.
Coventry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
that's essential background training, right? Because that's some of the hardest places,
yeah,
hardest
they are.
audiences.
And some of the places that you go to, you think, yeah. But that gave me such an experience of music, especially when he joined a 60s type band, because it was again a whole lot of different music I'd never heard before. And then when I left school, I became a DJ, and I was doing corporate functions, hotels, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was just gave me a whole big knowledge of different kinds of music. So great, yeah, being
No,
brought up
sweet,
in that
man.
environment.
So I mean, DJ to singer, how was that transition? When and how did it all happen?
Yeah, so well, how it really happened is I was at school and wanting to get into music, and my idea in my head was to go and work in a recording studio or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't really know what I wanted to, but I wanted to do something in music. And the careers advisor, as you had, used to put the details in
Yeah.
and said, "Oh yeah, you're going to be this." He said, "Oh, I've got you a job in work experience in a camera shop." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, what's that got to do with
Okay.
music?" Uh, and he said, "Actually, no, there's an entertainment agency upstairs." And he said, "You'll go there." So my first day, we went round looking at bands and hotels, and we're booking artists through the agency. And then he said, "Actually, if you want to not come in tomorrow," I mean, I was only 16, 17.
Yeah.
He said, "Join us tomorrow evening. We're doing, it's disco era." It was like, it was Christmas time. So it was, these dinner dances every night. So he started DJing in the evening. And then he'd already done some summer seasons before because he was a musician. And he said, "Shall we do a duo?" And I don't know whether I can sing, but he taught me to sing, basically. I was just doing the harmonies,
Wow.
to start
Cool.
off with. And that's how it all started. And then, of course, it progressed and we went on to do holiday parks and all sorts. So, yeah.
Amazing. So, but when did you decide that you kind of wanted like go from like doing a duo and that kind of stuff to being Dance Floor Divo, like the solo superstar that you're becoming now?
Well, I didn't. It was just,
I
yeah.
want to do it.
Yeah, just like, well, we'd done the holiday parks. I'd done the summer seasons. I'd come back home. I decided, yeah, I don't know whether I want to be standing up there for the rest of my life doing that kind of stuff. But it just didn't really go away because I ended up doing, well, as we all do, karaoke and all of those kinds of things. And then people, "Hey, get up to sing. You can sing, get up." And then I started just doing my playlists again when it all went digital, and I was sharing playlists and building them up. And my knowledge of music's really good, so my playlists get a lot of followers.
Yeah.
And then I say it just all then escalated from there because this record company contacted me, and that was it then. So.
Oh man. So you said you want to tell me. So you got contacted by a particular record label overseas,
Yep.
but you said you've changed. So what's happened since that? You've got you did you do a record with the previous?
Yeah. So we
that
did.
contacted you. And what happened since then?
Yeah, so we did the first track, which was "When I'm With You," but the problem is it was in the middle of lockdown, and it's a dance track, so nobody on the dance
I
floor
was out dancing. Right.
Yeah, nobody's dancing. And then we did a bit of a slower one, "Everyone Wins," and we were both a bit stuck, really. They were sort of like, what we're going to do now? Shall we do a cover version? I was quite keen to do a cover version because if you're going to do like PAs like you've done in the past, you don't want to just do your own songs. Nobody's going to want to know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to throw a cover version in there. And it just actually happened that, I said, let's get this track remixed when we were coming out of lockdown. So we got "When I'm With You" remixed by Sakra, that does all this, the retro 80s stuff, and he's fantastic. And then Dave Buswell that contacted me. And you probably know him from, he wrote "Fallout" by Tight Fit.
Okay.
and he just had a number one like 2 years ago or the year before last with Tight Fit. And he said, I'm surprised our paths haven't crossed. He said, you live 10 minutes down the road from
Oh, okay.
And he said, are you open up to doing something together as, work? And I went, yeah, why not? And that's how it all sort of came about. And he sent me a track, and it was an absolutely beautiful song.
Yeah.
And it was, I said, that sounds like Lisa Stansfield. And he said, you know what? He said, it's written for Lisa Stansfield. He said,
okay.
I've got her in mind. He said, but we can make it dancier. But for one reason or other, you've probably had this experience as well. It didn't work out. It was sounding good, but it wasn't there.
What you wanted.
And I was still keen to do a cover version. So that's why Every Dream Is Broken came out, because we did the cover version. Yeah. And again, Safra did a remix of that. And that kept the consistency with the sound. And
everything sounded, yeah. Perfect, man. So what does the future hold for you now? Like, so do you see yourself going back to doing DJing, kind of staying there, or now is it you're really focusing on your music, you're doing your dance stuff?
The immediate priority now, I mean, we've just done this new single, which is a double A side, and unusually for me, it's a ballad. So both are ballads on the new one. So we've got the original song on the A side, which is I Need Your Love. And then on the other side is another ballad, which was sort of a last minute decision that we'd do a cover version of If You're Right. And that's an old Barbara Dixon song. And I believe Cheryl Baker from The Fizz has done it. And there was another singer have done it in the past. Never released as a single, as far as I'm aware. Although I think it was supposed to be the follow-up to I Know Him So Well by...
Wow, okay, yeah. And Elaine Page.
Yeah, so that's out now, and that came out last week. And I've already recorded the next single already. So a bit of an exclusive for you. So this track you will love. I know you'll love, because it's written by Gordon Pagoda.
Okay.
And he wrote On Your Marks, Get Set, Go by Nikki French.
Oh, bloody hell. I love that woman so much.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is another opportunity out of the blue. It's like people just come to me and say, Andrew, do you want to make a record? So
yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, go on. And I couldn't turn it down because it was him. And I didn't know who he was. I was researching him online, and he wrote some cracking stuff here. Now I can't. Yeah. I don't really care what that record sounds like. I just want to record it.
Just record with him. I'm so jealous because here there's no one doing good dance music. Like I'm stuck here. I've got my own recording studio, but it's like, oh my god! Like I done a nice little reggaeton track. I went classical and opera because being tatted right up and stuff like that, I was a little bit like the bad boy of classical crossover music. And then I recorded a reggaeton track with a friend of mine here, who's an amazing artist, actually. Everything that comes from his stable is just bloody gold. It's wonderful. And we recorded and shot the video here where I live, in the area that I live. So it's on my YouTube. If you haven't seen it, that's where I live. It's really beautiful. Yeah. And now I'm just like, I really want to do dance stuff now. I know it's because I'm like, I really desperately, that 50 is looming. And I'm thinking, I need to be reliving my youth before it goes all together. Or the fact that now I'm just like, no, I've done classical for nearly 20 years. I really want to go back to pop and dance. So, pass any contacts my way. We should do a duet, man.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, a lot of people are saying to me, this stuff's not in, it's not trendy. It's like, it's stuff that was done 30 years ago. And I'm saying, well, pop music was around then. It just, evolves over time and the sound changes, but there's always pop and dance music around.
But actually, it's kind of like, I find it really funny now that I'll be driving in, like, I'm in the arse end of Mexico. Do you know what I mean? Like, I live in the jungle, and I was like really good friends with one of the guys from 5 Star, but I'll be driving through and I've got the radio on. I think it's called Turquesa Azul or Turquesa Pop or something, and it's like, rain or shine, you'll always be. And I'm just like, oh my god, I'm in the middle of the jungle in Mexico listening to bloody 5 Star. Like, how beyond random.
I've got a bit of a story about 5 Star, because I went to see them, it's probably about 10 or 15 years ago, and there was 5 of them.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And then about 2 years later, they're on again on one of these like doing a PA, and
There was
only
three,
three of them.
yeah.
There was three of them turned up, and then they were on the bill again a couple of years later for one of these like 80s, 90s revival shows. There was only the one of them turned up.
Oh, just Denise.
Yeah, on her own. You know, that was
Wow. Yeah, I've not spoken. I was like best mates with Stead from Five Star for like, oh my god, when I was living in London. But we've not really kept in touch since I've been in Mexico for some. I don't know why. He was out in the Philippines recording, last thing I heard. But it must be some family stuff going on, because they were starting to get, they were cooking it again. I mean, like
yeah, they were, yeah.
They're amazing. They really are a talented family. It wasn't all just produced pop shit. Like, it was great pop music, phenomenal fucking tunes, but they were talented. They could sing and move. Like, Stead's older than me, and I used to do a couple of his dance classes in North London, and I was like, man, that boy has got some grooves. Like,
and you know, you see like, some of the stuff that comes out. I mean, some of it is, you know, it's like throwaway pop kind of stuff, but then some of it's got a real good quality about it.
Last forever, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, and and that's what I like about Dave Buswell, because he's got this big catalogue of songs that he just wants to get out there. Yeah. And you know, he'll send me a song and he'll say, you know, think of it this way. Don't think of it as I'm sending it to you.
Right, yeah. Put your flavour on it, kind of thing.
Yeah, he said, imagine it danced up or speeded up a bit. He said, just tell me what you think and whether it's in the right key or whatever. Nice. And then he works his magic with it. So,
oh, bloody amazing, mate. Bloody amazing. I'm so what is the future for you? Stardom, #1 dance albums, PAs all over the world, maybe Mexico.
All of that. Yeah, all of that. No, there was no long-term plan when I first set out to do it. So but the priority now is get the album done. So I said we've got a single which I'm thinking probably the end of February. Nice. But again, I want it to be a double A side, but I haven't recorded the other side yet. Okay. I know what track I want to do. It's going to be another cover version, but I want to put that on the B side, as it were, in the old days.
Yeah.
There is potentially another song, but again, we're just trying to get a few things sorted for that for May time. But I'm thinking if it all goes to plan and we can get the album ready, then I might start. Well, I want to do some live work. I'd love to get back and do that, and it'd be the time then when, you know, festivals and PAs and that kind of stuff are going on. And I'd love,
God willing.
Yeah, I'd love to do something like that, but you know, if not, maybe I'll go and, you know, you see a lot of these revival acts. Maybe I'll go and join
why not?
Maybe 5 Star. I've got some vacancies.
I'll join you. I'll join it. We're both obviously youthful looking natural blondes. So I can go there and we could be. I'm happy to be in the background. It's really cool. That'll be great. Well, mate, maybe when you've released your album, will you come back and talk to me again?
Yeah, of course I will.
Because it'd be wonderful. I'm so excited about what you're doing. Your stuff is brilliant, and I'm loving it. It gets me dancing around the house in Mexico. When I moved here, I lost everything. I lost my language. I lost my history because I don't know anywhere here. I lost my culture. I lost my climate. The only thing I had was my music and my love of music. So, you know, like I was saying, because I've known Nikki for years, and we were back-in singers and dancers for a John Springate video, like probably 25 years ago now. So I've known Nikki for a long time. And I was just saying, it's just, I love listening to the music that's coming out from people like Nikki, from people like yourself, because it's still, it's now, but it still gives you that kind of, that melancholy kind of, oh my God, this was my shit back in the day, but now it's now. But it still has the perfect flavors of everything.
You know, I feel a bit like with Nikki, we sort of like skirted around all the time with Nikki French, because like when I was doing my promotional work, she was doing an album with Mike Stock again at Love This Records, and I was friends with a guy called Des Dyer, or he was doing like the club scene, and
sounds familiar.
Well, he used to be in Jigsaw, and they had the hit Sky High, which was
yeah. Wow, okay.
Yeah, and he wrote a track for Nikki French's album, her debut album, Secrets. Wow. So I've got this signed album, which I'll treasure for the rest of my life. Yeah. And then I say it's like Come Round Again, that, you know, she's just done this On Your Marks, Get Set, Go track, and it's the same writer that's now wrote the song for me. So it's like,
well, mate, I think sit back and enjoy the journey, because I think there's some bloody bright times ahead for you, God willing.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to see it go somewhere. I said there was no set plan, so we take each day as it comes and just see how it goes. Yeah,
and I think there needs to be a Jaden, collaboration in 23. I think
a Jaden duo.
Jaden duo, yeah, we could do. I mean, who needs Brandy and Monica when you've got us?
Exactly.
So yeah, we can sort something out. It'd be great. It's the end. Thank you so much for being on my show. You're a diamond. I'm loving your work, and please come back and say hello again. It's taken us bloody ages to get this far, but make sure when the album comes out, we chat.
We said it'd be a cold day when we got together, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for having me on the show, and for those
more than a pleasure. And hopefully, it's not the last time as well. We'll chat when your next single, your album's coming out back in February next year, and we'll have a catch up and see how exciting things are going then.
Definitely, yeah. No worries.
Diamond, thank you so much, mate. Take care, dude. What a super lovely guy. I hope you have enjoyed this show as much as I have. Thank you so much, Andrew, for being part of my show. And thank you to you at home for watching and for always coming back and visiting me here at the Jaden Show. I hope you subscribed. I hope you leave lovely comments. I hope you share with all your friends and family. And I hope you come and watch me again next Sunday on another wonderful edition of the Jaden Show. Don't forget to come and check me out on my social media as well. I am going to leave you with another wonderful song from Andrew. This is called dun, 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 dun. Every Dream Has Broken. Don't forget to show our brother some love. Check him out on his links. Go and see him on his social media. Go and say hello. And I will see you next Sunday on the Jaden Show. Take care. Big hug. Stay beautiful. Every dream has broken.
without a job.